everybody.
How
Good
can
evening.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Good evening to our masterpiece talk show series number 4, and Florence wants to be the Oprah Winfrey of Malaysia, and tonight experience as the interview host, and I leave the whole stage to Florence.
All right, hello everybody. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. And today's topic is about you are a masterpiece. All right, so I am Florence T. I'm the founder of IGS English in John Berhard and the founder of Noodle NLP. And I'm also a student of Jackson Ng. And yes, I actually took a training with him last year. Under the program HRDF TTT program. Yes, I was like the last batch, I remember that. And Jackson has been doing a lot of a live interview with a lot of people. And I believe that we should also get to know more about Jackson, because I believe that he has such great personality and such great attitude that I believe that all of us should also learn from him. So our guest speaker for today is Jackson Ng. Jackson, would you like to tell us a little bit about your background?
Thank you, Florence. And I know it will be quite interesting to become a host. So for me, I got involved in training in the year 2001, and it was because I got excited when I joined Anthony Robbins' session in Singapore. That was year 2001, and I found out that actually a lot of people are very hungry for success. And people are looking everywhere to find success. They don't mind to spend some money to learn from the world best guru. So I was it was 20 years ago, and when all this got started, and I went to Singapore, and I was one of the perhaps one of the 5,000 participants, and I felt that this is my calling. So at that time I was running my tuition center, and I feel it's time to do something different. So it was a very crazy decision. So I let go of my business and went into training 20 years ago, and today is 20 years later.
All right, talking about you letting go of your tuition center, do you actually regret it, for letting go such a good business?
Yeah, to be honest, yes. I was asking myself like 1,000 times, why did I so stupid let go of something that is already producing profits? And then it was a boring business, but the boring business was giving a very good profit. Why did I jump into something new, something unknown, and something that is totally unstable? That was the question I asked myself like almost every night. Yeah.
All right, so maybe you can tell us what is a very important learning that you can take from this experience?
Well, I was young at that time, so I was following my passion, following my heart, and people always say do things according to your heart. So I did. So, however, I believe it was the best decision to make at that time, which is to let go of my business and to jump into something I love to do. At least I tried, and then I don't want to regret by 65 years old, sitting by the beach side and have a conversation. What if I have done this? What if I have done that? Yeah. So fast forward 20 years later, today I can see the fruits of the investment, the fruits of the coming to the training. Although it was very, very tough in the first 4 years, it was very tough journey. I lost a lot of money, but I was questioning myself, should I continue this journey? However, I perhaps stubborn got me to continue in this journey in training, and continue to find the answers, and continue to fine-tune my approach, and to find the right way to do training correctly and to do training successfully.
Okay, that's a very good answer from you. Okay, so maybe talking about tuition center and also running a training business, which business actually will impact the lives of many people?
This is a very interesting question. When I was younger, I was like very happy when I see the SPM students, PMR students, SPM students got very good results. Like when I see students got straight A's, I was very, very happy. However, when I journey in my own life, I see that when we grow older, we actually have bigger problems. It's bigger than getting straight A's, it's bigger than passing exams. And I see that people actually suffer bigger problems like financial issue. They may have relationship issue. They may have employment issue. They may have marriage issue. So I think when I journey in life, I feel that the passion to help students to getting straight A's start to getting lesser and lesser, and I become more curious about my own life. I become more curious about finding answers to so many questions I had when I was a boy. Like, how can a person become rich? How can a poor guy become successful? How can a person who don't have a lot of qualification, can he still win in life? So I begin to find answers to all these questions. That's why when I journey in my later life, I found out that pursuing training would be a better choice than to go deep in the tuition industry.
Yeah, I do agree that because training, by giving training, you can actually transform the lives of the people. And that transformation could be a permanent results. So yeah, I do agree that people nowadays, right, they are stressful, they may be broken, and they are looking for help. They're seeking for assistance, they're seeking for advice, you just don't know what to do. That I do agree when you say that, yes, they may have gotten straight A's, they may have gotten good results in their academy, but as they grow up, actually they will encounter even more problems in their life, and that's when they got stuck. Because it's nothing that we can learn from the textbook. There's no manual that we can refer to, like how to solve certain things, because this kind of problems is very subjective. It's very subjective. So yeah, I would agree that yes, by training, it will help the person to transform or to grow to a certain extent. And I truly believe that, Jackson, you have been doing this for many years, and I also I've heard a lot of successful stories from your students, like how they have transformed. And I'm actually one of your students who have also transformed, and I have improved tremendously in my life. And I would like to say thank you, Jackson, for really helping me to bring me out, especially when I was in my stuck state. Yeah, and then look at this, you are a masterpiece. So can you elaborate more? What is the definitions of masterpiece?
Thanks. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate you, Florence, for being ambitious and always hungry for learning and hungry for more success. I think this is a very important mark to become a masterpiece, because there is no limit to what a masterpiece can achieve. A masterpiece, in my view, is someone who always aim higher. You will always have a moving target. Like when you achieve one thing, you go for the next one, then you go for the next one. And a masterpiece is someone who wants to be the best version of themselves when they are alive, and they want to live a life where they play all out, and then they give their best in everything they do, and they want to be outstanding in whatever they do. So this is my definition. But it doesn't mean that a masterpiece will not be going through failure. Maybe a masterpiece may go through more failure than an average person. But because a masterpiece is a concept, it's a mindset, therefore we know sometimes we win, sometimes we lose, but in the end, we still win. It's like a person who can finish a marathon, 42 km marathon. Most people started well, but most people do not end at the finish line. Yeah, most people will not end at 42 km. They started very well. Maybe by 5 km, they decided to quit the marathon. So this is you can see this is also in career, in business. A lot of people started very well, but along the way, when they meet problems, when they meet challenges, when they have failures, the first thing that came into their mind is, I want to give up. So they cannot become a masterpiece. So if I were to give you some examples of who are masterpieces that we can relate to, we can say names like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, in the world of basketball, in the world of martial art, we can say people like Bruce Lee, Jet Li, people like Donnie Yen, in the world of entertainment, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, Britney Spears, Madonna, Michael Jackson. So these are names of people who achieve the highest performance in their own industry.
Yeah, that's a very good definitions for the word masterpiece, which means that you don't really, I mean, like, even though you are really broken, you can still be a masterpiece. Am I right, Jackson?
Yeah, of course. And a lot of people thought, these people who are very successful, like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jackson, Justin Bieber, Jackie Chan, all these big names, they all come from very, very good background. So a lot of people thought that these people have a very good support from their parents. But the truth is, if you start to dig deeper, if you do your research, you will find out that a lot of them did not come from a very good background. For example, like people like Donnie Yen, Donnie Yen, he came from a background where the parents, the mother was a wushu master, and then the father is someone who worked in the newspaper. So Donnie Yen was quite okay. The mother guided him very well. But people like Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, famous for the wrestler, The Rock, he came from a poor family background. So his father was a great wrestler, and then was actually telling the son, do not be like me. Do not be like me. Look at me. I only got one small apartment. If you want to be a wrestler, you're gonna end up like me. But Dwayne Johnson proved to the father that he can become even more successful than his father. So he actually bought the first house for the mother when he became very successful. So a lot of them, when they actually came from a broken background, when I use the word broken, they came from poverty, they could come from very, very, even below average. So people like even Oprah Winfrey, you know that she was actually a sexual abuse victim, not one time, but 2-3 times. And then even at a young age, she already was pregnant, and then also she went through hell in her life. Now, a lot of people who are actually at the very top, they went through a lot of misery, a lot of problem, and they came from very difficult background. However, how can these guys rise to the top? There must be a secret. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I do agree. There must be a secret, definitely. But I do agree that, sometimes the more hardship that you have gone through, it may not be a bad thing. Because of that hardship that you have gone through, it actually pushes you, right? It actually pushes you to be very uncomfortable, and that will allows you to go through that breakthrough session, and that's when you start to shine. It's like there's a saying that says that turn the scars into stars. So the scars may not be something that's bad, because eventually you're gonna use that scars and you're gonna turn it into something amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's why I have a saying in the masterpiece is, how can we profit from our loss? It's like, how can I benefit from the loss? I remember when I wrote my first book, it was written in 3 weeks and it wasn't successful. It wasn't a successful book, but I lost 6,500 ringgit. That was in the year of 2000. And then after the failure, after the lousy book, I actually learned a great lesson. I learned a very expensive tuition fee, which is never write a lousy book in a very short time. So I learned that if I want to win, if I want to profit from my loss, I must ask myself, how can I write the next book better? How can I make money from the second book? How can I not lose money again? So it's a very important question. But however, if I did not lose money or lost money in the first print, I would never appreciate, or I would never be thinking and planning how to do the second book better.
That's a good learning, Jackson. Because sometimes anything that does not go according to our way, perhaps there is something, that is better planned ahead for you. All right. So we should not be thinking that negatively. Instead, we should be asking ourselves, how can we improve ourselves? How should I be doing it better the next time?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Right, Jackson, there's I was just curious, all right, out of so many professions, all right, so from a tuition center and then now become a trainer, I'm very curious, why a trainer?
If you are a trainer, you can solve the problems that you are passionate of, and where you can help more people. Like when I become a trainer, I got to train topics like selling skills, so I'm helping people to sell better. I was also doing customer service for many retail outlets, so they can improve their relationship with the customers. And later on in my life, I was actually doing team building, so I did a lot of team building to help organizations to bond their employees. So and in the last 4 years, I spent my life training a lot of trainers, producing with my partner, Ms. Aw Ming Si. So we produced more than 700 certified trainers in the country. So that was our record in the last 3 to 4 years. And I felt I have contributed to the lives of those who wanted to become a trainer. And moving forward in the year 2020, now I am doing Masterpiece program. And this program is actually just the right program to help people who are lost, who are perhaps they have some mental, I wouldn't say mental illness, but they have some, it's about mental health. A lot of people are struggling mentally and they do not know how can I win in this COVID-19 era, because no one was trained for COVID-19 and no one was expecting COVID-19. Therefore, a lot of people are like still struggling on like, what can I do? How can I win in this COVID-19 situation? So when you become a trainer, you have an opportunity to listen to their problems. You have an opportunity to formulate or design a training solution to help them solve their problem. And then when they see the solution, you feel very happy. You feel very happy for them because you see that they apply what you teach them and they see some results. And this is the satisfaction that you gain as a trainer.
Wow, that's really amazing. So from your conversation, I can hear that it's more towards satisfaction. You actually like to see, when people actually apply your methods and it produce results.
Yeah.
And it gives you that kind of satisfaction. So I'm actually quite impressed because you're not actually doing this for the sake of money, but you're doing this for the sake of helping more people, and that would actually give you satisfaction, and that I think is actually totally priceless.
Yeah, I always tell the certified trainers, there are times we have to do for money because we need money to pay the renter, pay the staff, pay the bills, pay a lot of things. But also we must remember there must be some training sessions that we do for free or do for very little money, because the whole aim is to help more people. The whole aim is to help those who don't have money to pay us. So there will be some training that I do for money. There are some training that I do for free. Like example, like this 1.5 hour is for free. No one is paying me, no one is paying you, but we are just here at our own liberty, and we want to share some good ideas with those who are perhaps looking for some answers.
All right, that's a very good one. Okay, Jackson, we have some people in the Facebook. Okay, I would like to acknowledge them. Hello, Sam. Hello, Ivy. Hello, Levin Xiao, the pretty lady. Hello, Tiffany Chia. Nice to see you. Yes, Jackson has been giving up training consistently because he has this value of abundance. He likes to share. He likes to give away free tips. As long as this can improve the lives of people, he'll be very, very happy to see that. Hello, Michael. All right, people. Hello, everybody. If you are here, if you think that you appreciate what Jackson has been doing so far, perhaps you may want to share. All right, share so that more people can actually benefit from this talk today, because today's talk is going to be very special. It's talking about you are a masterpiece, and you might, who knows that when you are sharing this post, you are actually indirectly helping, all right, people who are actually being trapped, or people who are lost, or people who are broken, especially during this period of MCO. Okay, perhaps you may want to share and help, and because I believe that more people should be joining this and listen to this wonderful talk between. I mean, because today it's my honor for me to actually interview Jackson. He has a lot of good tips and information to talk about today. All right, Jackson, coming back to the questions. Yes, what makes you write this book called The Masterpiece Book? Because I bought this book from you, and I've read this book, and I find it really interesting. You know, it's I think the content is just very much related to me, because I used to be broken. And after reading your book, I realized that yes, actually being broken is not a bad thing. And we should not play the role as the victim, like, I surrender to my fate. But it's how we should stand out and make a change. And actually, we do have a choice to make these kind of changes if we really want to. It's all about the mindset that we have. So maybe you can tell us a little bit more about this wonderful book that was written by you, The Masterpiece.
Before I go into the book, how we got a book, I also want to welcome those who are watching this Facebook Live. You can actually ask questions, and by typing in the comments below, and Florence will channel the question to me. I don't know why I can't see all the questions. Maybe something wrong with my phone, but Florence can channel the questions to me. So we welcome questions from those who are watching the Facebook Live as well. So Florence, what actually got me interested to write a book? I actually don't know, because one day I just got one voice inside me and say, Jackson, write a book on masterpiece, like you are a masterpiece. So that was just an idea, and I wrote on a piece of paper, make your life a masterpiece. That was the original idea, make your life a masterpiece. But I was just putting that piece of poster, it is still in front of me, and I just put it on the wall, and I just leave it there for about 1 year. And in that 1 year, I start thinking, what the hell is masterpiece? So I start to do research, and I went to a dictionary, and then I explore, and I see that in Japan, right? If you actually break a glass or a cup, they actually put all the pieces together and with gold, and they use gold to glue all the pieces together. And there's a word for it, yeah. And in Japanese, I think konjushi, something like that, yeah. Then I felt that, wow, if a broken cup or broken glass can be glued together using gold, it actually looked much better, much valuable than before. Now, if you relate this concept to a human, so I see that a lot of people, we worship people who are successful, we worship celebrities, and everybody have their own idol. But we always forget, actually, we were all created with our own talent. Everybody has a different talent. However, when I wrote this book, I want to remind all the readers and those who are not the readers that if you know your talent at a young age, like Justin Bieber, then you can start playing music, learning about music at 5 years old, like Justin Bieber, Michael Jackson. So by the time you reach 20 years old, you actually become very, very competent in music. Why? Because you have 15 years already, from 5 to 20 years old. But unfortunately, most people, they do not know their talent at a young age. So they go around their life, even up to 55, still searching for their talent. But actually, they already have the talent inside, just that we do not pay attention to it. Now, just like Lee Chong-wei. Lee Chong-wei is famous for badminton. And what if Lee Chong-wei never explore badminton, go for training, go for competition, and then he will never know his true talent is in badminton. And this is not going to be helping him. A lot of times, you and I are like Lee Chong-wei. You are created good in badminton, but we play the wrong games. We may be playing sepak takraw, play ping pong. What happens to Lee Chong-wei if he play sepak takraw, he play ping pong, he play tennis, or he play something else, but not badminton? do you think Lee Chong Wei will be famous? Do you think he will be world class? Do you think he will be very, 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 very good, like at the world standard? I may not think so. So a lot of people have this problem. They are actually gifted in cooking, but they become something else. They become a Grab driver. Or perhaps they are good in teaching and then they become a Grab driver. So sometimes we already given the talent, but we don't go deep. We don't explore. We don't grow with the talent. We do not multiply our talent, but we do something else. So sometimes this is the problem with many people. We do not go deep, but we go very wide.
Okay, talking about this inborn talent, Jackson, how do we actually know that we are actually born, with this talent?
There are a few indicators if a person wants to know their talent. Number one, you actually have a natural inclination to spend time to do that thing. Example, you like cycling. So when you are free, you always find a bicycle and go ride a bicycle for 2-3 hours, and you may become a professional cyclist, go for a lot of competition. Why? Because you have this inclination for cycling. Secondly, when you go for competition, it is quite effortless for you to win. Why? Because you have natural talent, natural strength in this cycling. Third, you will hear people around you say that you cycle very well. Okay, so it could be cycling, it could be singing, it could be cooking. You hear a lot of people saying good things about you performing that art, or you're performing that thing. Yeah, so it's like if you can sing so well, people around you, when they hear you sing, they will give you compliments. They say, wow, what a sweet voice you have. Wow, this is a nice song. Yeah, you can sing so well, so they'll compliment you. So this is a third indicator. The fourth indicator, how do you know you are a masterpiece? Well, actually, when you go for a competition, then you can actually win easily. Why? Because you already have the natural talent. It's like you always see in the talent show, a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, 8 years old go and win the hearts of the judges, and then they for these boys and girls, it's like so easy for them. It's like so easy. Why is it so easy? Because their talent is already in singing. So ladies and gentlemen, actually for everybody, before we reach 10 years old, you can already see somebody or a child, a boy or a girl, good in something. And if you are a parent, you help them grow in that area. I promise you, by the time they reach 20, they become professional. They become very good in that thing. Yeah. So, but we have to nurture the raw talent. If you nurture the raw talent, you will multiply the talent. It's like one talent becomes 20. So this is why I always say it's very important to grow the talent. But first thing first, you need to identify what is your natural talent.
Okay, let's say if I don't have this inborn talent, can I still win the competition?
Yeah, like Andrew Richard is asking, how do we know if we are playing the correct game or not? Well, Andrew, to answer your question, if you play the game correctly, then you will always be receiving compliments from your customers or from people around you, and you always will be getting the rewards. So example, like how do I know I do training correctly? The clients will come back to me and say, Jackson, we want you to train us again. We want you to help our subsidiary companies. We want you to help more employees in our company. So this is how we know we are doing well. So people invite us again. This is a sign that we are doing well. And sorry, Florence, you were saying?
I mean, like, what I'm trying to say is that, for example, let's say if I don't have the talent, I don't have the talent in singing, would that be possible for me to win the competition?
Yes. However, you will have a lot of hard work to do. You have a lot of maybe more practice than those who got talent. It's just like me. I know I'm not good in singing. If I go for all the training, I still have problem remembering the lyrics because it's just not in me. So my son is 5 years old. He go and play the iPad and then he listen to the song, the Robocop Polly, and then now he can sing the whole song. Now we never taught him how to sing the song, but he can sing the song because every day he will sing like 20 to 30 times the same song. I mean the Polly. Now because he just like to sing. So for me, I'm not a good singer. I can sing 100 times and still forget the lyrics. However, when I become a trainer, if I listen to the topic once and if I like the topic, I can read. I can read many times. I can remember a lot of things because I think I'm born a trainer, but I may not be born a singer. So if we try to struggle and try to build that talent where we are not gifted, it's gonna be quite challenging. It will be struggling because this is not our natural talent.
Yeah. Okay. Talking about this masterpiece, this book, because I feel that yes, I bought it and I feel it's good to for people to buy your book as well. So where can they buy this book, Jackson?
Oh, if they want, they can actually get this book from MPH. I always say those who are not popular, you get this book from MPH bookstore. But if you are very popular, you are Dato' Tang Sri, Dato' Sri, Tun, then you buy my book from Popular Bookstore. So popular people go to Popular Bookstore, and ordinary people go to MPH bookstore.
So how do I know if I'm popular or not popular?
Well, actually, I think most of my books are in MPH because MPH distributes the books to everywhere. So you can go to any MPH, you should be able to find the book.
Good. So, I mean, like there are so many titles that you can choose, but why Masterpiece?
Because I see my life was broken when I was young. I lost my father when I was a boy, and I'm also surrounded with a lot of people. When I look at their lives, they are also broken. So the word broken means you could be losing someone in your life, or you could be coming from a poor background and struggling to find to find money, or you could be a jobless person, or could be a retired person, and then find that life has no meaning. So when I use the word broken, I see that people are going through a struggle. It could be it happened already. It could be they are still going through struggle. So the word broken can happen to anybody, just that we all experience brokenness in different forms. Some people don't have enough food. Some people don't have enough joy. They don't have enough love. Some people don't have they may have all the money, but they're still not happy because they don't have maybe don't have a life partner, or maybe don't have a family that is around. So example, I do know like people always tell me like there are old folks in Cebu where they send the children to study overseas, and the children do not come back. So when the parents get old, they stay in the old folks home and they feel very lonely. So this is also a sign of brokenness, and everybody go through different type of brokenness. So the question is, can a broken person become a masterpiece? This is the question, and I always believe yes. Why I say yes, it is because if you study the background of those who are super successful, they are super rich right now, more than 50%, maybe I would say more than 60%, they came from nothing. They came from not having enough, not having, I mean, they don't have a lot of things in life, but they have strong determination. People like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he migrated to US when he was, I think, about 18 or 19 years old, and then he told himself he must become the Mr. Universe, because only then he will get an opportunity to go into the acting industry. So he wanted to become an actor, and somebody told him, if you want to become an actor, you must go into the bodybuilding industry and you must win some awards then the Hollywood will recognize you. Then you can get into the movie industry. So he was, he went to US and got nothing. He was a 19-year-old boy, and then he just got dreams. That's all he carried with him from his country to the United States. And even we heard people like Arnold Schwarzenegger later on become a governor for California. You see, so dreams are something very powerful, and if you believe, if you pursue, then that will make you a masterpiece.
If you pursue, and that will make you a masterpiece. Yes, which means that if we have a dream, if we want to achieve something in our lives, then we should be persistent, we should determine, we should stay focused, all right, and not give up easily. Jackson, we have a very interesting questions from the audience, from Stanley Gona. All right,
Okay.
hello Stanley Gona, thank you for such a wonderful question. And she said, hi Jackson, in chapter 7 of your book, you wrote about generational communication.
Yeah.
Could you share a little on the types of essential skills for us to lead a multi-generational workforce?
Okay, I believe that because now we are now working in the world where it's no longer dominated by those who are in the baby boomers. Baby boomers do not dominate the employment market anymore. We have more Gen Y, those who in their 30s. They make up more than 50% of the market, the employment market. So therefore, if you have 4 different age group in the company, you got people in the 20s, you got those in the 30s, those in the 40s, and those in the 50s. We are all born in different time. We are all born in different era. Therefore, we are exposed to different different things. Example, like baby boomer, those who in the 50s, 60s, 70s are not likely to expose to technology. Yeah, like my mother, she is 80 plus. She even had hard time to even use handphone, and we have been teaching her many times. She just can't get familiar with how to use a smartphone. Now, why is this so? It is because in their time, they don't have all this technology. Now, for those who are in the 40s, you are more likely to have a tendency to become your own boss or to become independent contractor, because you reach the time where you want to have a sense of achievement. So you feel very happy when you start your own business. For those who are in the 40s, you have a tendency to actually do something of your own that you can feel proud of. Yeah. For those who are in the 30s, you are in the Gen Y generation. Therefore, you are in a generation where you are actually given a lot of things when you are young, like given handphone, given a good life, and everything you wanted actually was provided for by your parents who work very, very, very hard. So those people in a Gen Y, they are more like, a lot of things are being given for. And those who are in the generation Z, those who are in the 20s and below 20, you are even more fortunate because you may not tested poverty, you may not have tested hardship in life, and everything is so convenient, everything is so good in your life. So it's very difficult for you to know what is poverty or what is hardship, you see. So like my son, he at 5 years old, he took my iPad, he played my iPad every day, and I have to tell him, this iPad I have, now I give to him. So every day he spent a few hours to play the iPad, he can watch cartoon and everything. When I was 5 years old, I don't even have a toy. I don't even have a single toy. So when we are all exposed to different things in different times, now we have a communication gap. Therefore, we think different, what motivates us are different, and then what we want in life is also different. Therefore, when we have a different belief system, different needs, different motivation, we sometimes have clash, conflict, and this is what we call the generation gap. The older generation may not understand the younger generation. That one is actually a different topic altogether. Maybe Stanley, one day I can organize a training for you under multi-generational communication, how all different generation can communicate with each other more effectively.
All right, so coming back to this topic, you are a masterpiece. All right, Jackson, I know that you actually have a program for this. You are a masterpiece. Can you tell us a little bit more about your program?
Last year was the first time I did the program Masterpiece, and I see a lot of my students very happy with the coaching session. I am very happy with the results. So this year I did again. I was doing in April and May. Now this program is actually helping people to have breakthrough results. When I use the word breakthrough results, I'm referring to results that you and I never got before, because we sometimes are lazy people. We are the creatures of habit. We just automatically we want to repeat what we do in life. Example, like wake up in the morning, same time, eat the same breakfast, drive the car on the same road to work, and then repeat our life. And life is just a repeat. However, you see, like COVID-19 changed the way we do things, totally different from last year. So I always tell my team that what happened in 2019 may not be able to be repeated in 2020. What was good last year may not be good anymore. So there are businesses affected. A lot of businessmen are bleeding, and they are still struggling. They have sleepless night. They don't know how to find enough money to sustain their business. This is one worry. And the employees are also losing jobs. A few days ago, I was actually conducting interview, and I know that at least two of the candidates were actually let off from their position. So people are losing their jobs. And when I know that people are, going through this very tough time, not knowing what to do, then I start to feel that it is my there's a strong feeling in me to start this masterpiece again, because masterpiece is to help people to know if you are tired, if you are stuck in where you are, if you are clueless, if you are lost in your direction, or if your business is not working, then I will introduce them topics like innovation, how to innovate your business, how to change your business model, how to try new marketing strategy, how to maybe create new products. And for personally, a personal life, I actually talk about how a person can change their habits. You see, Florence, sometimes it's not about doing more. Sometimes it's about doing less. Like today, I want to talk about if you are able to release some of the things in your house, don't you think your house look bigger? If you are willing, right? And if you are willing to release some of the activity in your daily routine, don't you think you have more time? And if you are willing to release some of the item in the shopping list, don't you think you have more money?
Yes, absolutely.
So if we are willing to release some of the things in our life, and if we are willing to release the negativity in our mind, don't you think we become more happy?
Yep.
Yeah. And if a person is willing to release some of the facts in the body, don't you think they feel lighter?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Right. So I personally attended your course. It was like a few months back for this You Are the Masterpiece. And I realized that this is an absolutely amazing program. And I was very glad to be, part of, to be your students for this program. And what is my biggest takeaway? And I realized that, in order for you to renew yourself, you need to, first of all, look at yourself. You need to reflect first. So a lot of times, right, people just that I want to change, I want a new life, but they fail to actually evaluate themselves. They fail to reflect what they need to change. For example, like talking about my business. Okay, talking about my business. So when it comes to this kind of reflection activity, I will have to reflect my my ability to lead my team, to lead my organization, and also my time management skills. So I always realize that I don't have enough time to do my work because I want to do everything, like, because I don't really trust them that they can, my workers or my teachers can actually do a good job. But after going through all these reflections, I realized that actually there are certain things that I need to delegate to other people so that I can have more time for myself. And sometimes I need to learn how to trust people more. So this is about the self-reflection, because let's say if I don't reflect on myself, then I cannot actually move on with my life. Then I cannot redesign my life. And then when I cannot redesign my life, that's when I cannot rediscover new alternatives. So Jackson Training actually has, I would say, like a formula. They are like a step-by-step formula, and I actually follow it, and I discover a lot about myself. It's like, where am I right now on the scale, and how can I push it to maximize it so that I can be the best version of myself. So that is the biggest takeaway. And the second takeaway is when he talks about being innovative, right? How you can make your business different. And he talks about blue ocean strategy, and he talks about lots more than just this. So from there, I learned some methods that I can use to apply on my business, and it actually helped me to boost my business during this MCO. And I'm really grateful that he actually gave me very powerful tips. I would say very powerful tips. And I would say that those who do not join this masterpiece during this MCO, it would be a little bit waste of it's like a waste, because it's such a good training, and it's not that expensive. That's the first thing. It's not that expensive, and the values that I received from Jackson is actually way more than that. It's like so priceless. I would just put it that way. It's just priceless, because it's a lot, right? It's like a lot, and he keeps on giving, like until I say that, oh my God, it's too much, Jackson. It's too much. Like, he keeps giving a lot to us. All right. Would you like to tell us more about your program? Jackson, is there any further things that you want to highlight?
Yeah, actually, the program is designed for those who want to be successful. But because this is a Facebook interview, and now we're still in the interview, I just want to do a short, introduction. So for those who are interested, actually can come for my the free session. This is a free session. We're gonna have it on the next Wednesday, 8 to 10 p.m. And if you can't make it on the Wednesday evening, you can come for the Friday, June 5th of June, 2:30 to 5. So we have two options for you, and you can just have to register here. And this is free. Free session means that there's no money to collect from you. It's purely free. It's purely teaching for those who want to know more about Masterpiece program. And then please come and enjoy yourself. And you can also bring your friends. If you're a boss, you can bring your employees. If you are jobless, you bring all the jobless people together. If you're a retired person, you bring all the retired people together. And so we welcome everybody to the session for free. And Florence, back to you.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I remember I joined this session. It was 2 hours, and I learned a lot as well, because a lot of input, and even with your tips, like during this 2 hours preview, even with that 2 hours preview, there is you are giving us like some of the tips that we can actually apply immediately. Okay, so I find that it's very, very good. So 2 hours, that's fine. It's free. So there's no harm trying, isn't it? Because it's free. All right, Jackson, I have one question to ask you. Okay, let's say like a single mother, right? Like single mother. Okay, if she's very broken and she has children with her, and then during this MCO she's having this very difficult time, do you think that this preview would actually help her, or at least bring her to somewhere?
It will always help, because a lot of people are not stuck in their life. They're just stuck with ideas. They don't have ideas on how to move. It's like when a person is earning 2,000 ringgit, all he knows is how to perform the task and that pays him 2,000 ringgit. But if you teach him how to do different tasks, then he will be able to perform more and he'll be able to solve different problems, and therefore he can actually earn maybe more money than 2,000 ringgit. So people are stuck not because the situation is going to be permanent, but they don't have enough idea or they don't have different idea how to get out from the situation. I always tell people your problems are not your problems. You just need to find someone who can help you solve your problems. It's just like I don't know anything about electricity, so when the lighting in my house problem, I don't try to be MacGyver, fix everything. I can change the light bulbs, of course, but if it requires to change your wiring or install new wiring, I would rather not touch because I may get, I may die because of the what do you call it? Kena electric, yeah. So what I do, I would better get the guy to come to my house to fix the lighting problem or wiring problem, right? So you see, my problem is not my problem. My problem can somebody out there can solve my problem. But what is my problem then? My problem is to solve other people's problem. The better I am in solving other people's problem, the better I am in receiving pay from others, right? So supposedly you are a nurse and you can only do what the normal nurse do, then you get the normal pay. But if you go and learn and improve yourself to become a senior nurse, you go for night classes, you go for distance learning, you go for extra course, and then after 1 year, you become a senior nurse. Now you're able to solve bigger problem. You're able to work in the ICU, emergency ward, and you become very important to the surgeons. And this is how your pay will change, and you earn more money because you're able to solve bigger problems. Now, a lot of people and most people want more money. However, we do not want more work. We don't want more work. We don't want more sacrifice. We don't want to pay the price, but everybody wants to be successful. But I always say that whether it's single mom, if a single mom come to me, come for my program, I will share with her some ideas how she can get out from her situation. So yes, a single mom can always find a way out from her situation.
Okay, that's good. That's good. What about SME owners? Because like nowadays during MCO, I can see that a lot of businesses are actually closing down, especially when I drive along the road and I realize that a lot of shops and a lot of my favorite shops like F&B, they're closed down. Yes, people are jobless. SME, they close down the business. And Jackson, if they come to you, I mean, how specifically will it actually help them?
If someone is thinking of closing down the business, I will always share with the business owner that they might want to look into changing their business model. So, example, like if you look at people like AirAsia, before AirAsia go into the market, they studied MAS already, and then look at the industry like MAS. Okay, MAS biggest customers are those who are middle income and above. And AirAsia was asking, how come the lower income group, they never get to fly? They never afford to fly. So when AirAsia came into the market, AirAsia say, maybe we can offer something for the lower income group. So AirAsia came in, and AirAsia actually, so what AirAsia did, Florence, AirAsia was looking at the opportunity, and the opportunity was to provide for the lower income group. And this is very important because this actually create the opportunity for the lower income group to fly. So AirAsia bring down the ticket fare so people can actually fly. They can fly, yeah. But so their strategy are completely different from MAS. Like MAS give you food, AirAsia sell you food. MAS don't sell you any souvenir, but AirAsia sell you souvenir. So AirAsia do not give you the privilege to sit anywhere you want. You actually have to buy the seat. If you want to have a better seat, you have to pay more money. But in MAS, actually you can request where you want to sit. Yeah, you can request. So there's a lot of I'll call it a different way of doing business. Now, if you are a business owner, you are bleeding right now, you may want to cut down your cost of operation by looking into areas that you can cut. Not necessarily firing your employees, not necessarily. It could be looking into other areas that is adding less value or no value to your business operation. And you may also be able to create new products, the new products that you don't have right now. And you may even be able to come up with new packaging to change. Maybe your packaging is for premium products. Now you may want to come up with a packaging for the the low cost packaging for a different market. Now, so when you are a business owner, you want to look into things like opening new market, repackaging your products, repricing your products, and then a new product creation, new channel of distribution. Maybe your business is always offline, yeah. So you depend on certain location, but now you go online, yeah. You start to sell online to different country, so you can see that people start buying from you because now they can find you online. So there's a lot of strategy. There are actually more than 100 strategy that you can apply in your business. So then you can still stay relevant to your customers. So I think this is very important. So in one keyword, innovation. If you apply innovation and you know how to use innovation strategy, you can survive. And maybe you can also thrive after COVID-19.
Yes, talking about innovation, that is actually one of the topics in your training, Jackson, that actually captured my attention, that actually I learned something from that topic that actually I apply it during MCO. Okay, Jackson, back to this topic about SME who is about to close down their business. So what about there are certain business that cannot be converted to online? So do you actually strongly recommend them to do something else, like abandon the old business and try out something else during this critical period of time?
Well, I have to be very careful with my answer here because the best is the person talk to me and then I'll be able to coach the business owner, because the person may have a different situation from another business owner. So if you come to my program, I'll be able to listen to your problem and ask you many specific questions. Then only I'll be able to advise or coach you to find the right answer. So there is no one answer to apply to all business owner, but I always believe a different business owner will have different strategy and different methods, and also different channel to do business after COVID-19. Yeah. So what may work for one businessman may not work for another businessman. So these are very it's a case-to-case basis. So they have to come and talk to me in order for me to understand better about their situation and advise them or to coach them accordingly.
Okay, Jackson, thank you so much for your response. Yes, this is like a case-by-case basis. So it's very subjective. Maybe because it also depends on what kind of products that they are selling as well, isn't it? And what kind of services they are doing. Okay, what about employees? Okay, talking about employees who are, like I do encounter people, telling me that they have staff or they have workers who actually go to work. It's like they are so demotivated. They just go to work and then, for the sake of money, but they are still in the company for like 20 years. I mean, what is actually wrong with this person? I mean, can Masterpiece actually help this kind of person?
Yeah, I always tell my staff, it's very important when we work for someone, our role may change. our task may change. It all depends on the needs of the company. And if a person can stay agile, and they will be relevant. So those people who are not agile, they will not be relevant. So for example, there's one candidate who came for interview. She works in a company that serve the oil and gas industry, and they were doing very well until last year. Yeah, and then so the whole company have to cease operation because the customers or the clients are not paying anymore. And so if you are not agile, you're not flexible to change your task or your role, then you will have problem staying relevant to your organization. But what if you are willing to say, boss, put me in any department that need somebody. I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to change, I'm willing to do something completely different. And it is because the company needs somebody. So I volunteer myself, I'm willing to try, I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to, I'm willing to do it. So then you will be very needed, for the company that you're working for. So I think very important is to stay agile.
Stay agile. Well, that actually makes sense. Yeah. Okay, very good. Okay, Jackson, what about retired people? Like sometimes, right? I mean, I do have retired people who come to work with me, and I think these retired people, they have something in common. They are quite depressed in some way. So, do you think this masterpiece could actually help them?
Yeah, you see, I know one retired man. His name is let's call him Bobby lah. Let's call him Bobby. Bobby is an uncle who actually every day Bobby and the wife will be working in the kopitiam, in the coffee shop, and Bobby will be someone who spend the whole morning with the wife, do some popiah. Popiah is like the type of kueh, with the vegetable inside. So they'll be doing this popiah, and they can collect around 700 ringgit a day. Yeah. So if you minus the raw material, the cost of the everything, you can see that they are profiting about 50%. So they can bring home a clean profit of 350. So they'll be very happy because every day in their retirement, Bobby and the wife are making 350 ringgit every day. Don't you think this is a good retirement for this uncle and auntie? Now, if you wake up in the morning and you have something to do, whatever you have a small business to run, or you have a job to do, you have something to look forward to, you have a goal in mind, you have objective. This will keep you busy, and you stay energetic. Yeah, you stay energetic, you stay enthusiastic because you know you have things to do. Versus another retired person who wake up in the morning and have nothing to do every day. As early as 8 o'clock, start to turn on the television and spend the time watching Astro and watching the repeated movies, the repeated drama series. Don't you think this is a meaningless life? So that's why a lot of retired people, when they do not have dreams anymore, they don't have anything to do anymore, this is actually very bad for their mental health. It's also very bad for their physical health. So I would say to retired people in my masterpiece program, retirement is actually the first step to your own career. Or I would say retirement is the beginning of your own career, because you have spent 40 years working for someone, you spent 40 years doing something else. Now is the time for you to do something you love. I have a friend who actually worked with the forestry department all his life, and when he retired, he actually bought a piece of land and then he started farming, and then he is farming the we call it the kelulut, the sting bee. So he started the sting bee business, and he got a lot of people buying the honey, and he's doing very well, and he's very busy. Every day go to the farm and check his farm, and this keeps him busy. And you see that people like him will enjoy his retirement, because people like him, he wake up in the morning and he got farm to, go to every day. So when you are retired, this is the best time for you to do what you always wanted to do, what you love to do. This is the best time.
Okay, Jackson, what about this person has been running business, since young, and then when we talk about retirement, does that mean that it's the beginning of his entrepreneur journey, to do something that he likes?
Yeah. Say again, Florence.
For example, because you are saying that, for example, if this person has been working for other people throughout his life, and then when it comes to retirement, that is I think you're saying something like this. It is actually the time for him to start his own business, or to start doing the things that he like, right? So what about this person has been running business, running business from the age of 20 plus until he retired at the age of 50? Will he actually, do you actually encourage him to continue doing the business, or will you just ask him to just retire and relax his life?
Well, if someone has been doing business all his life, say he spent 40-50 years of his life doing business, and when he retired, maybe he want to do something different. Maybe he want to spend time doing charity, doing CSR, doing something very different that makes him happy. Most important is whatever he does in the retirement time, he is happy. He's happy. I know one guy, he was a GM of a huge corporation, holding a very high position, but in the 50s, he chose to retire early, and then went into helping those orphans home. He actually runs orphans home, and he's been spending all his time to do CSR projects, because this one makes him happy. So it's all up to you, but whatever you do is most important. It makes you happy, and it's more important than do nothing, sitting at home and waiting to die. Yeah. So I think we should not be thinking retirement is a time we do nothing. Doing nothing is actually bad for mental health. It's also very bad for physical health. Yeah. Now, when you are living in your retirement, when you are living your retirement, when you wake up in the morning, you do socialize with people, you talk to people, you move around, you drive your car around, you meet some customers, you meet some old friends, you do the things that makes you happy. Your retirement is still alive. Now you feel alive during your retirement. But if you wake up in the morning and then you just feel meaningless, no one to talk to, no customers to say hi, and then no products to sell, you just so free, you become free and boring. Then you have a very boring life. So you are a masterpiece even though when you are retired. You are still a masterpiece even though if you are jobless. Now, I always say to jobless person, how do you win the hearts of the employers? Very simple. If you typically go for interview and you say, sir, this is my resume, this is my qualification, then you can't get a job. But if you study the background of the company, you go to their website, you talk to one or two people in the company, you find out the problem, and then you ask yourself, what is your talent? Then you know that you are an engineer and you can solve engineering problem. So during your interview, you presented the problem that you found about the company, and you also present your solution, how to help and solve the problem. I guarantee you, you will be hired. Why? Because if you go for interview and you have done your homework, you found out the problem and you suggest some solution and you are the solution, during the interview, the boss will be very curious and the boss will be very interested to get you to solve the problem that you identified. Yeah, the problem that you showed them in the company, and the boss will say, welcome to my company and help me solve the problem that you found. Yeah, so this is very important. But a lot of people who are jobless go to company and say, give me a job, hire me. but not telling the employer what you can do for them. But you want the employer give you a job, give you money, yeah, so that you have good salary and you can survive. This is not going to work, yeah, because a lot of people go to interview and say, hire me, give me a job, I need money, I need to pay my car, I need to pay my house. But they never they do not tell the boss, hire me so I can help you with your problems.
That's a good point, Jackson. That is why, people with that kind of mentality, they can't actually sustain long in the company, because all they have in their mind is just, I work for the sake of paying my bills. But they do not actually see from like, I work because I want to help to improve, the company, or to help solve my boss problem. And that the thing is that what you mentioned just now, if you can solve the other people's problem, that is when you get paid. Perhaps you get paid more, in fact, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. We will also open the floor for questions. So those of you who are still watching, thank you so much. And you can actually ask the question, all right, by typing the question in the Facebook comment, and we will entertain your question. All right. So while waiting for the question, Jackson, is Masterpiece a motivational training?
It is not, because in Masterpiece we talk about the 7R concept, where you discover more about yourself. You know your strength, you know your weakness, you know which area you need to start releasing, you need to do lesser, or you need to stop doing. Motivation is about doing more, and doing more. But in Masterpiece, you find clarity about your personal life, 7 areas like your health, money, your career, your business, your relationship. And these are the 7 areas that you find clarity, and you begin to redesign your life, rewrite your goals, and we'll be talking about how to achieve your new goals, how to achieve breakthrough results. This is not about motivation, because we are talking about a lot of strategies, a lot of methods that comes in. And what is interesting for me is that Masterpiece comes with a 3 months coaching, where the participants can see me every Thursday night through Zoom. We actually have a coaching session, and they can learn and they can get the answers. Their questions being answered by me. So through the coaching session. So it's 3 things combined. Training, 2.5 days. Normally we start on Friday, and then we continue with Saturday and Sunday. Then I give them the 3 months coaching, and they are also given 60 videos for them to enjoy. 60 videos, and it's combination of a speaking skill, selling skill, and also Masterpiece videos. So they will get all these things in the package when they come for the training.
Wow, that is like a lot. So actually, I think it's actually worth the value, because I know that for coaching session out there, people usually pay quite a lot for for coaching. And this coaching session actually comes, as long as you attend the training, you will get to be part of the coaching session. And on top of that, you also get to enjoy the 30 videos. And in that videos itself, it will teach you a lot of skills like selling skills, about Masterpiece, about public speaking. I think these are all the essential skills that we need in our lives, especially those who are running business, especially who are working in the corporate world. You may need all these skills to upgrade yourself so that you can shine. You can shine in your company. So Jackson, what is the expected outcome? Let's say those who actually join your training, or what are the obvious, the very obvious outcomes that maybe you can tell us a little bit more about that?
Can. A different person come with different issue, and they will get different outcome. So for example, I have people who come for Masterpiece and not sure whether to work in the same company or to join another company, and she found the answer at the end of the coaching, where I got one a guy 55 years old, worried about being retrenched or asked to leave the company. because the company is shrinking. After coaching, he felt very happy because even if the retrenchment happened one day, he is ready to go into other industry or same industry by becoming a trainer, a consultant, or a coach. So he's been working for 40 years. So you see, people find different solution during the Masterpiece program. I got one boss who sent 6 of his employees, and after the training, he felt that this actually strengthened the leaders in the company, give them a lot of innovative ideas. And more important is to train their mind to think bigger, to think about world class, and to be more a problem solver than a victim. Yeah. So the biggest outcome that you can expect is that your mind will be you are going to be trained to become a problem solver rather than become a victim. Yeah. So because in life we have a lot of problems, and if we sit down and cry, nothing will change. But if we start behaving like a problem solver, you can actually solve the problems one by one. And I always tell in the training session that you may list down 100 problems, and then if you can use the formula I give, you can actually overcome the 100 problems in a period of 3 months. So I show them formula steps by steps how to reduce and eliminate problems, as many as 100 problems in a period of 3 months. So 3 months later, I expect that the outcome will be you are actually spending lesser time, but you become more effective. You actually make more money, and you also improve your business if you're a business owner, because you already applied new strategy to improve your business. And if you're working for someone, you can see that you introduce new ideas to your company, and your company will appreciate you because you are able to bring innovative ideas to your company. Yeah. So I think different people get different results when they come for the Masterpiece program. And here on the screen, this is our next program. Next dates 12 to 14 June. You can actually register at landpage.co/masterpiece webinar. If you're keen, you can join us on the 12th to 14 June. This is the last session we do this year, the last one. We have already completed 2 sessions, and this is the last session for this year. Yeah. But if you are not sure that you want to join the Masterpiece webinar, then we welcome you to join the Rise Above the Storm. And this is a 2-hour free session. This 2-hour free session, you don't have to pay anything. You just have to register and you can come. Yeah. All right. So I'm not sure if those people are still around. If they have, I'd like to ask you some questions, and then I will be giving you the free book if you can answer any question here, provided there are still people around watching. Yeah. So first thing first, the first book that I will give away is this book, Speak with Impact. So I want to ask a simple question. If anyone can answer this question, type in the comments below so that I know that you can answer the question, and I'll be willing and I'm ready to give this book free for you. Okay, so this first one, the free book is Speak with Impact. So ladies and gentlemen, the first question I'd like to ask is, can anyone become a masterpiece? If your answer is yes, why? Why can anyone become a masterpiece? Please type your answer in the comments below, and if you are the first one to give the right answer, you get this book for free.
So the question is, can anyone become a masterpiece? If yes, why?
Yeah.
Right. So that's the question, because if you can answer that question, you will walk away with this book for free.
Seems that we don't have people answering, yeah, but it's okay. Maybe I will keep the books for other session. Perhaps now it's 10:30 already. You want to do a closing remark?
Sure. All right. Thank you so much, Jackson, for sharing your wonderful knowledge about this masterpiece. And ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to find out more about the Masterpiece program, you can actually register at Landpage, all right, landpage.co, this is for the Rise Above the Storm, right? For Rise Above the Storm, you can actually register at the landpage.co, Rise Above the Storm, all right? So there are 2 sessions on the 3rd and on the 5th, all right? Jackson, is there any more things that you would like to add on before we close the session?
Yeah. We have one guy asking about Cheng Fong. Yes, if I have coaching. For Cheng Fong, you can contact me directly. I think I'll be able to answer your question tomorrow, whatever the question is. I'm not quite sure of your question, but if you have any question, you can ask me tomorrow. I'll be very happy to answer your question. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this interview. It's the first time Florence is doing this interview, and the whole idea of doing this interview is to share with you guys a little bit on the masterpiece concept and how anyone can become a masterpiece despite your situation, whether you are broken or not broken, and whether you are a businessman or you are an employee, whether you have a job or jobless, whether you are about to retire or have retired. I believe in my heart, everyone is born a masterpiece. And let me help you explore this concept. Let me help you let me help you share the insights and also the ideas how you can become a masterpiece in your business or in your career or in your job. Yeah. So if you want to find out more, I want to invite you to come for Rise Above the Storm. It's a 2-hour free session, and you can just type Landpage/Rise Above the Storm to register. And if you want to register, you can also call Elizabeth if you have problem going in. Yeah. All right. So Cheng Fong, you are now in Saudi. Yeah. No worry, you can always WhatsApp me, and then through WhatsApp I can set up a Zoom meeting with you. I can set up a Zoom meeting with you, and we can communicate using Zoom. Even if you're in Saudi, no problem. Yeah. Just keep my number 01633666030, and I will communicate with you from here. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. I want to say thank you. And tonight, nobody answered the question. Nobody win the book. Do not worry. Please join us next Saturday evening, 9 p.m. Next Saturday evening, 9 p.m. We will have one more person to interview, and we want to welcome you to the next Saturday event. Yeah. Thank you so much. Stay safe and stay healthy. Stay at home. Over to you, Florence.
Thank you so much, everybody. All right. Thank you, Jackson, for such a very meaningful session tonight. And yeah, if that's the case, then goodbye and good night. Stay safe, everybody.